Merci Lorient. Here we are at Legion Stadium as the Hammerheads of Wilmington take on the LA Blues. Let's take a look at our first 11s. David Irving goes with a 3-5-2 at home. Luke Mulholland, we told you about in the open, but two dangerous men up front in Banks and Budny. Meanwhile, Charlie Nemo makes just one change from the 1-1 draw with Antigua at midweek as Jonathan DeLeon starts up front in place of Artur Agassian. So we're just about ready to go. We told you that both of these teams are already in the playoffs, but playing for positioning with the regular season ending in just 9 days' time, Keith.
Yeah, well, we have said all along that it's likely to come down to the last weeks, and it certainly is, both for getting in the playoffs for some teams and certainly for the positioning.
It'll be Wilmington and Los Angeles, both teams with blue as their primary color, but Wilmington in the blue and white stripes and the white shorts and white socks, while Los Angeles in the all-blue strip with, thankfully for us, Keith, the big white numbers on the back there.
Absolutely. Easy to see this time around.
That was Carlos Borjas, number 27 there. This portion of the match brought to you by USLsoccer.com. Scores, stats, news, and more exclusively on USLsoccer.com, the official website of United Soccer Leagues. And as that is knocked back onto the Wilmington back line, it's Dylan Riley. And Riley looks the worse for that confrontation with Peter Byers.
Yeah, we see Peter Byers making a statement that he's going to be all over the defenders. It's a tight field, and why not for the forwards to put some pressure on them? Came in to the outside of his right foot. Maybe he goes in with his left foot. He actually blocks that and has a chance to keep it.
Byers will hurt you in so many ways. That's just another way that he can put a hurting on you. Usually it's by the balls he puts in the back of the net, but sometimes, as he did there, clips the ankle. We're just underway at Legion Stadium. We're in the second minute. Ken Tomash and Keith Tabatsnik with you on the USL Pro Game of the Week, bringing you the passion, excitement, and tradition of United Soccer League, celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. Went over the head of Byers, headed back the other way by Riley. Here's Gareth Evans, wins a strong header off the boot of Luke Mulholland. Byers will be up top, Keith, with Jonathan DeLeon, as we told you about the strike partnership there. Those two work pretty well together. There are two dangerous guys, and Charlie Nemo said these gives us two legitimate strikers who can score goals.
Yeah, and not only score goals, but they take a lot of attention as well. And of course, they're playing together for not a long time in this league, so teams are still trying to figure out how to go against them. But the style that LA plays really suits these guys very well. There's a mix of balls into the feet, plays to their speed, and I think it's a tremendous partnership.
Nicholson and Mulholland, two Englishmen, hook up. Taken away in the midfield by Los Angeles. Got away from Akeem Priestley. Chance at the top of the box for Wilmington, but right there is Erlis Garcia. There's a miscue. In the box and just missing, just barely wide, was Chris Banks. Opening salvo of this match in the third minute.
And again, the pressure up front on this end leads to that chance for Banks. And, a clever little try with the outside of his right foot. Let's have another look at this. Let's see, just had the pressure, and there he is going for the far corner. Not a bad decision. The keeper was screened a little bit, and it definitely had the right idea.
We'll talk about this young man in goal, Amir Abidzadeh, as we go along. Just 18 years old, but his coach says he does not play or act or anything like an 18-year-old, a much savvier veteran. We'll talk more about his background, but first, he's got some business to attend to as the Hammerheads attack here. And Banks goes down at the edge of the box. Carlos Borja got him there. It's a free kick chance.
Yeah, we like Banks active already and had the opportunity one-on-one. There was no cover behind Borja, so why not take him on? He draws the foul, and we have, again, a tight field here, and any free kick in the front, almost the front half of the field can be a dangerous ball in, but certainly from this position.
Chris Spenlove and Luke Mulholland are options here. Spenlove acting like he will be the one to take it, but you never know. And he will. Drills it into the box, bounce it around. Another poke at it, and it goes off the, I'd say woodwork, but you can hear by the sound, it's not made of wood, obviously.
It is not, but I'll tell you one thing. That was an excellent ball in, and you can see in the front post there, they are wide open to getting in front of the defenders. The LA players did not look at it. Let's look at that again. You can see how open they were. One guy leaving the ball, and anything could have happened. An own goal, a flick on, but an excellent restart.
Budney right there, and he can score goals at opportune moments. We've seen him do it on the USL Pro Game of the Week. Scored a match to tie a match in Orlando and give them a valuable road point. Here is Budney, but he's offside.
Well, it's pretty evident that Wilmington is trying to take advantage of being at home and go right at LA. And I think LA has to get a hold of this ball, knock it around a little bit, and just get a little confidence in playing right now. They were delayed quite a bit in their flights yesterday. They did not get to the hotel till 1 a.m. And whether David Irving, Wilmington coach, knows that or not, they're certainly trying to go right at him.
That'll go over the head of Akeem Priestley. And a touch here along the near side. Tom Parrott. We'll leave it there for Dylan Riley. Riley tosses this one in. It's over the head of Banks. Scooped up there by Nelson Aquari. One of a handful of ex-MLSers on this Los Angeles team. Charlie Nemo fortunate enough to find some guys with lots of high-level professional experience and USL experience and international experience to put an eclectic side together. First shot of the match for the Blues is way over everything by Israel Cisse, a player you know very well, Coach.
I know Israel very well. He coached him in the Maryland Olympic Development Program when he was a youngster. Actually won a national championship for us, and just a wonderful young man. Is just 20 years old right now, but you know, playing for Potomac Soccer Club. It was great to watch. An exciting player to watch when he was growing up.
There you see Brock Duckworth. David Irving has gone back and forth on his keepers this year and says he'll go with whoever's in form at the moment. Right now, that's Brock Duckworth. He has started most of the games this season, though Kyle Pollock has seen time. His long goal kick is headed down by Budney. Parrott sends it forward. Aquari in a battle there with Budney. Neither one of them could get it, and the flag is up.
That was unfortunate offsides as they pressured Aquari there. Aquari, one of the players with MLS experience, also a former youth international from Houston, Texas. We'll have a look at how this turned out to be offsides right there, and tell you what, it wasn't. If it just paid a little more attention, could have snuck on sides there. And
he drifted back just behind that last defender, but you know, forwards are always looking for that little edge.
Well, the best ones play along the edge, and you know, if you're never called offsides as a forward, you're probably not testing the defense the way you need to.
Battle here along the near side touchline on this narrow artificial surface here at Legion Stadium. Luke Mulholland in traffic. Missed connections with Chris Banks. Back to Gareth Evans. Now with David Irving changing up to 3 at the back, Coach, what does that do positively and perhaps negatively for them?
Well, I mean, the positive is it's putting probably the 11 best players on the field, and when he went to the 3 and was able to find a way, now, you know, they're pretty much all healthy except for a couple players. That allowed him to put them all on the field, gives Luke Mulholland free range as well, one of those 3 central midfielders, and he can go anywhere he wants. And we'll get back to the negatives right after this throw-in.
Deep throw here comes into Mulholland, and he draws a crowd, and it will remain. Hammerheads. Parrott tosses it in along the end line. Parrott will get it back and serve it in. Cleared away from the edge of the 6-yard box. Scoreless in the 9th minute as Nelson Aquari did his job right there. But the danger not over yet as Parrott gets a good run up on this throw in into the box. Comes right to Banks, but cleared away by Borja. Served back in there by Evans. Nicholson to Guzman. Guzman will have a left footed go, takes a deflection and just missed. Oh, I wonder if the deflection is what kept that out of the net.
Well, they were asking for the corner kick, and the referee is giving a goal kick. The deflection maybe was off his own player, but it didn't look that way. But boy, what a nice strike, and you can see why he scores he will score some goals as well. And I like the way he plays. He's both sits well behind the rest of the attack and then gets into it also. We're talking about this 3-5-2. Defensively, naturally a 3-5-2 gives a lot of space into the flanks behind those three defenders. And normally that would be a big issue, especially against forwards like Byers and DeLeon, who's got a lot of pace. But because this field is narrow, it kind of negates a little bit of that, the negative on that.
You will see the wings, Tom Parrott and Chris Spenlove, get forward and into the attack and get back when need be to defend those flanks.
And that's the type of player you need. Some special players out wide, because they're almost playing three positions in one. And sometimes they're more defensive, sometimes attacking. I know we've seen these players before. I like the way they get forward.
Wilmington 12-6-3 on the season, coming off a great weekend when they beat New York 3-1 and Harrisburg 2-1 on back-to-back nights last weekend. They're firmly in the playoff hunt. They would need some help to be able to overtake Orlando City atop the American Division, but they can still assure themselves of finishing second and hosting at least one playoff match, potentially two. This portion of the match brought to you by Umbro, true to soccer since 1924. For more information, visit umbro.com. Here's Guzman, heads that down over on the far side. It'll come back inside. Nicholson to Mulholland. Mulholland will have a go, and it's right at the keeper, Abidzadeh. There you see why Luke Mulholland is so dangerous. Packs a lot of power into a small package.
Oh, he did, and just got just enough space to unleash that shot. And testing Abidzadeh, and one of Abidazzi's strengths was shown there. He's a good shot stopper, where he's going to have to improve on his game is organizing the guys in front of him. And let's have another look at that. We'll see the shot and the stop. But Mulholland, just a nice little step over, gets just enough space around Borja, and goalkeeper getting on top of the rebound quickly. They're very quick, and talked about his pedigree, of course, from Iran, and pretty well-known father over there as well, Ken, isn't he?
Ahmad Abidzadeh was a former goalkeeper for the Iranian national team, and an assistant coach for the Blues. So Amir has grown up around the game, and he's not intimidated at all. And when asked why he went with the young man over his more experienced keeper, Oscar Daught, he said he hasn't lost yet. He's played 3 games. He's 2-0-1. He's only given up 3 goals. You got to go with the guy who hasn't lost, especially this time of year when points are at a premium.
No, absolutely, and you probably don't always want to get to this stage where you're finding out just how good your other keeper is, but at least when they did, they found out he was pretty good.
Now Dylan Riley will play this one back to Brock Duckworth. The orange boots. Captain Ivan Becerra. Becerra floats that one long, and Release Garcia got ahead on it. Garcia defected from Cuba fairly famously back in March of 2008 when they were here for for Olympic qualifying in Tampa. And now in his 3rd year, actually just a little over 3.5 years that he's been in the States. Number 2 at the back in blue there. Here's Shahryar Dasta. Josh Trudella in the midfield. Here's Akeem Priestley. It's the Blues, who've been kind of hard to get any kind of flow going or any real build-up. Finally have some possession and knock it around a bit.
Yeah, I think one of the things with the Blues, they have a lot of players. It's going to take a pretty special shot from there to even test the goalkeeper. As they just got into the first rhythm of some passing, that was probably not the best decision, because they need to keep it going. I was saying they have some individual players that can create a lot of things by themselves, but they also, when they want to, a very good possession team. And Coach felt that maybe they were possessing too much and not putting enough pressure into the final third, but right now they definitely need to get back to that possession to give themselves a little bit of rhythm in this game.
Charlie Nemo, an ultra-successful coach on the women's side of the game, and here he has his first-year LA Blues in the playoffs and playing well at the time of year that you want to play well. They've had a bit of a challenge on their hands. They played Antigua 3 games in a week's time at home, and they will leave here and go play Barracuda on Sunday. I'm sure we're very big in the islands, Steve, as you know, so the folks who are watching us on Fox Soccer down in Antigua and Barbuda are waiting to see the Blues return to the Sticky Wicket Stadium. Here they're at the edge of Wilmington's box, sending it across. Gareth Evans clears that one to the side. Evans, who started the season with the LA Blues before coming here to Wilmington, is a mainstay at the back. That's going to be our first corner of the evening, and the Blues will get it. It will be Akeem Priestley on the far side flag.
And Priestley, who was a top player in the Big East Conference for UConn.
Waste no time, sending the in-swinger. Duckworth is there, but he loses the handle. Borja with a shot, but look, there were 4 Hammerheads stationed right on the goal line to back up Brock Duckworth.
Yeah, well, they gave him a get-out-of-jail-free card in that one because he misplayed this cross, and we'll see it again. Priestley bending that ball in. Really should have been fairly routine. There wasn't even a defender, LA Blue player, going against Brockworth there, but look at that. It's a wall of Wilmington players not allowing that ball to go in.
He gets by with a little help from his friends. Now LA will start again from their side of midfield. Get around Guzman there. Well, Mulholland has it back now. Chests it down and motors across the center circle. Couldn't hook up with Banks. Here's Tudela now, another former MLSer.
Former MLSer and 2 national championships back-to-back with Indiana University as well.
Under legendary coach Jerry Yeagley. Cameron Dunn lays that one off on the side, and again, it's put up and over the end line. It's going to be another corner for the Blues.
Well, we'll see if that man Duckworth can do a little better this time around if he gets the opportunity on this. The last corner was the first play he's had to make today.
17th minute of a scoreless match. Josh Tudela on the corner kick on the near side flag. Got motion in the box, and it's headed out here to the near side.
We kind of watched a couple of the games that LA has played on corner kicks, and so many of them are cleared out at that front post. Not giving their team a chance. That's not a bad cross by Priestley, but I was watching the one game on Fox before, Chris Klein commenting the exact same thing before the LA hit the ball, and absolutely right again.
Third corner here in short order. It's Priestley again. His left footer. He's got a short option in Cisse. Looks like he's going to go again to the 6. Headed high in the air. Chested down, and it's Borja here on the near side. Riley on him. Destin reverses it. Headed down by Byers, and it'll be over the end line for a goal kick for Brock Duckworth. Told you that Wilmington's back in the playoffs for the 11th time in 16 seasons, and owner Bill Rudisil has built a great organization. David Irving, fantastic job on the bench. They're a title contender, and this town loves them. Another great crowd here tonight, despite high temperatures here in Wilmington yesterday and today. Very humid. The Port City firm is standing and cheering on the far side. Just an outstanding atmosphere here in Wilmington.
They do. They've done an outstanding job. It's one of 6 USL Pro teams with more than 10 years of operating experience, and obviously that's a testament to the core of USL Pro. Definitely the strongest, most sophisticated, experienced men's professional soccer league below the MLS. On and off the field, some of the results that they've had with the MLS teams, and we'll talk about that with the Open Cup and Richmond's success, and also the international games. Orlando City beating Newcastle.
It's been a fun summer. It's been fun to watch, and we've been glad to bring it to you here on not only on Fox Soccer, but on USLLive.com, where tons of games have been available. More than 100 games you could watch. So you can see the passion, excitement, and tradition that lives in USL Pro all summer long. Here we're in the 19th minute at Jurgensen Gabriel Field at Legion Stadium in Wilmington, North Carolina. Ken Tomash and Keith Tabatsnik with you. On the USL Pro Game of the Week, it's the Los Angeles Blues attacking from right to left in the dark blue kits against the Wilmington Hammerheads in the light blue with the stripes. We are scoreless in the 19th minute. Each team has had a couple of chances. And these are two high-scoring teams as well, Keith. Wilmington has scored 38 goals in 21 matches, and Los Angeles scored 33 in 20. So guys like Manny Guzman, who can set up the strikers or score themselves, they've gotten a lot of action all summer long, and we should see some of that tonight.
There's no question. Of course, when they played here before, it was 6 goals in the game, 4 for Wilmington, and 1-0 early for Wilmington, and LA tied it up before Wilmington went ahead for good. But you'd certainly be surprised. LA's only been shut out twice all season.
And both have given up a few goals. Let's be fair. Wilmington's allowed 26 goals and LA 24, but both may have solidified their goalkeeping here for the stretch run. Abidzadas played well despite his youth, and he's going to have to keep an eye on this free kick chance here from Chris Spendlove. You see Abidzada, very talkative at the back. Spendlove will get a good run up on this left footer. Floats it to the far post. Gareth Evans was there, but I believe they called a handball there.
Yeah, I think he was also got his arms around the LA defender, trying to get a little bit of an advantage there. The LA defender held him off pretty well, and Gareth Evans tried to get around him.
Now here come the Blues. Israel Cisse trying to hold Becerra off. Comes here to Priestley. Priestley sidesteps a defender. Lays it off here to Borja. Decent little build up here. Cisse into the box. Still Cisse to the end line, and Duckworth has that. This portion of the match brought to you by the PDL, the destination league for tomorrow's professional stars. Visit pdl.uslsoccer.com for expansion opportunities. And speaking of PDL, Keith, 9 of David Irving's starters in this match played in the PDL. 9 of 11. Charlie Nemo has 5 starters as well who played in the PDL. It's really the place for college players to go in the summer, retain their eligibility, improves their game for when they go back to school, and starts them on a potential professional career.
Yeah, and aside from the college players, just other players that are trying to get the jump start into the professional leagues. There's so many players that have been drafted into the MLS Super Draft, from the that have played in PDL. And of course, we're leading into the PDL final tomorrow, which will be on Fox Soccer at 7:30 Eastern Time.
More on that as we go along, as the Hammerheads look to break open a scoreless match here in the 22nd minute with their first corner kick of the night to the far post, headed down and cleared out. Is it?
No, he called a foul.
Oh, Gareth Evans thought he had it.
I think it was a cleaner challenge by Evans than the one before, but it looks like still too much. As we have another look at this, and little short target pushing, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, Evans using the LA defender as a boost, getting on Aquari's back, and look at it from here. You just see his hands going down, boosting him up and not allowing Nelson Aquari to get up as well. Good call by the official.
Gareth Evans still looking for his first goal of the campaign. After that sequence, he'll hand this one back to his keeper, Brock Duckworth.
We just talked about the ownership here in Wilmington. You also have to mention the Blues, LA Blues ownership, the Mansouri family. A lot of credit to them, not only the USL Pro team that we're watching right now, but they also have a PDL team that they support, and certainly very appreciative of what they do for soccer, both professional and the PDL in the LA area.
Don't forget the Pally Blues as well. Their women's team, ultra successful. And Charlie Nemo, we talked to him today. No lack of confidence in that man, which is a good thing. I mean, has utmost confidence in his team and his players and their abilities to get results.
He actually fully expects that his team should come out here to win the USL Pro, not just get in the playoffs as a first-year team. He knows he has experienced players, and he's actually right. His team is good enough talent that they could make a run in the playoffs.
Israel Cisse, one of those talented young players on his roster, and mix some veterans as well. We told you about guys who played in Major League Soccer, guys who played internationally. Peter Byers has more than 30 caps for the Antiguan national team. The Blues will take a throw in on the far side, right in front of the Hammerheads bench. But they've had trouble at this point getting the ball much to Byers and DeLeon.
Yeah, here's Byers on the ball now, one of the first times in the attacking third.
takes a weird bounce off Evans. And Tudela was trying to get on that one, and Duckworth got it, and then Duckworth has some words for Tudela.
And I don't think there was anything wrong with that challenge. I think Tudela was going in fairly to try to get a hold of the ball. Duckworth did an outstanding job covering the ground and keeping a hold of the ball. Again, first time that we saw Byers do something, and it almost creates a chance for LA.
Headed back the other way by Nelson Aquari. Now here come the Hammerheads. Tom Parrott just outside the center circle. Bounces here to Priestley. Akeem Priestley going 1v1 on Dylan Riley. Steps around Richardson. Nicholson, rather. Tudela tried that left-footed cross, but Dylan Riley stepped in there and snuffed that out.
There's good defending by Riley, blocking that.
Quick throw-in. It was off the chest of Priestley. Now he goes down. Matthew Jositis not interested there. Our referee tonight. Budny. Mulholland dispossessed there by Shahriar Desta. Now Tudela has drifted back into the center circle. Again, they'll try Priestley on this near side. And Borja now. The pace slows a bit, as you figured it would. If you were here tonight, you would know that it would be pretty impossible to play 90 minutes at a really high pace here tonight, especially on turf, where I'm sure the temperatures are probably close to 100.
Yeah, and it's the humidity here tonight. It really sucks the energy out of you the longer you go. And it certainly was a high-paced game from the beginning for the first 20 to 25 minutes. Maybe with the game slowing down, it'll be a little bit more rhythm on both teams.
And if the temps drop any more here, especially in the second half as this game wears on, we'll see if that helps, as Akeem Priestley nails in his nomination for Best Actor of the Year. A little bit of space for Cisse. He's got Cameron Dunn coming up, making an overlapping run on the far side, but he ignores him, and the Hammerheads take it away. Well, they should have done better with that, you think?
Yeah, there's really nowhere to go over top, and you see he's pointing to the feet. You know, Budney, he's saying play it into the feet, because they were on that side of the defenders, right into the feet, and they got something good going.
David Irving, sharp-dressed man, despite the conditions tonight. Borja sends this one high in the air. Nicholson draws a beat on it. Knocked forward. Budney heads it down. He's trying to get it to Chris Banks. Still looking for our first goal in the 27th minute, Legion Stadium. There's Byers on the run. Byers sends a worm burner just outside the post, but Duckworth pounced on it just for good measure.
Yeah, Duckworth gets to that pretty easy, but again, Byers not shy to take the shot, and also just see how strong he is. He just rolled off the defenders, and look at this coming right in, and Dylan Riley trying to get a slide on that, but taken easily by Duckworth, of course.
Byers paid him no mind at all.
No, not at all, and I think he intimidates some defenders that way. That you just know he's going to be really tough to defend, and he'll be a very smart defender. You don't want to go muscle for muscle.
Here's Aquari being harangued by Chris Banks in the box. Riley will head it back. 50-50 ball there. Parrott got a piece of that. Budney chests it down, gets around a defender nicely, but cannot get past that last defender. Zamir Abidzada, just 18 years old. Tom Parrott. And Akeem Priestley sent that one into touch on the near side. Parrott will get a run up on this throw in. Deep in LA territory. Into the 6. Hammerheads aren't done yet, as Guzman stays with it, but LA controls. Up to Byers. Again, Byers just sheds a defender. He lost the ball.
They did. They keep the ball there with the throw-in, but probably not the best part of the field to try to be taking on all the players. He's got the defender right on. If he can lay off and leave the guy, use his speed off the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure you want Byers with, here on the near side touchline, especially in a narrow field where he can get closed in. You want him with some room to roam if there is any. And here's Mulholland. Beautiful ball into space to Banks. Banks on Borja, cuts it back, leaves Borja on the turf. Banks with a shot. It's going to be a corner kick, but it could have been much, much worse.
No, that all started by an excellent ball by Luke Mulholland, threading the needle between two defenders, and we see the end result here. Banks taking on Borja. Nice cutback move, slicing and dicing, getting the corner kick. We'll see now if Wilmington can make something of it. A lot of corner kicks in the game so far, both ways, and a couple chances on it. See if Evans can manage to get the one without fouling this time.
Second one of the night for the Hammerheads. It would come from the near side flag in the 30th minute of a scoreless match. Left footer, far post. Oh, and it's dangerous when it bounces in the box like that. It'll be another corner.
I think that just got deflected off an LA defender, and you had the players Guzman at the back post. Look at this, thinking he's got a clear run on it, and just slipped out of bounds.
Mulholland now on the far side flag. Curls this one to the 6. Headed off the crossbar and in. The Hammerheads have struck first. And it's Ivan Becerra. Check that, Manny Guzman. 6, not 5. Guzman scores in the 31st minute.
Guzman's third goal of the year to go along with 1 assist, and there's the corner kick. What a nice ball played in as well. Dangerous ball right in the middle. Unlucky for goalkeeper for LA coming off the post, and not much he could do. But just look at Guzman getting right in the middle. He's not the biggest guy. His timing well, and again, a little unfortunate for LA as this ball just comes off the back of the goalkeeper. Nothing he could do there. But his only chance was to get a piece of that on the initial header that could deflect it right the way over.
So the Hammerheads score first. Manny Guzman with his 3rd goal of the year in the 31st minute. Player of the week, Luke Mulholland with the assist on the corner. And now the Blues chasing a goal, which Charlie Nemo says, unfortunately, they've had to do a lot this year. He says they work so hard to score goals, and sometimes they let their opponents get some easy goals or goals that he can't believe are goals.
No, he doesn't. A lot of times that's happened very early in the game. This time they withstood the early pressure, got into a little bit of an offensive game, and then, of course, a bit unfortunate on that. You just look at yourself and say, wow, we're down 1-0 right now. And I won't say it was out of nothing, but it certainly was something that, just doesn't usually happen.
Now we'll see how this match opens up here with Wilmington getting the leading goal. Had a rare touch there. They're just not finding him. He's drifting into the box now. It's Priestley. He'll chip one in, looking for Byers. Duckworth is there. This portion of the match brought to you by the W League, the first and longest running National Women's Soccer League in North America. Learn how you can be a part of the women's game at wleague.uslsoccer.com. There's the goal scorer, Manny Guzman. So Quarry got his head to that one. Israel Cisse will track it down.
We'll talk about the W League. Congratulations going out to the Atlanta Silverbacks, capturing the first championship. 6-1 victory against Ottawa Fury, who had been undefeated before that. A lot of kudos to John Latham down in Atlanta, who's just been a huge player in the Atlanta soccer scene, keeping pro soccer alive down there. And Lauren Federico Chevalier, the GM for Atlanta as well. Congratulations to them.
Won that last weekend in suburban Seattle. Just a terrific event, and more exciting developments coming for the W League in the future as Andre Budny is offside. And LA not standing on ceremony. Here they come. Borja, a little spin to win. Back to Destin. Here's De Leon again with a rare touch.
speaking of right smile that faces the Hammerheads, Chandler Miles is the official dentist of the
Cisse.
Hammerheads. Visit Summer Home Furniture's 45,000 square foot.
Borja plays a beautiful ball into space to Cisse. Duckworth gets there first. Did he keep it in? No, corner kick.
Just getting out there. Again, Cisse showing his versatility, getting right across field, a little 1-2, right foot, left foot. Very good acceleration as well to get on the end of that, but a beautiful ball laid in by Borja also. And Borja left back, but you wouldn't know it the way that he plays.
Cisse, just 20 years old, came to this country from war-torn Sierra Leone when he was 11. He'll try to get on the end of this one, but Brock Duckworth punches it out. The two number 11s go 50-50 on that one, and that shot will go wide of the mark.
Let's have another look at the goal can. This corner kick by Mulholland, perfectly placed in there, testing whether the keeper's going to come out. He can't do that. Just an inch over his hands. He could have touched it over if not. And then unlucky off the post, Guzman with the goal, and it's standing as 1-0 for Wilmington. Got a good stat for LA in the sense that when LA has scored first, they have not lost a game this year. They have come back from being down, as we know.
Have to do that here tonight. We're in the 36th minute. And here come the Blues on the move. And that attack is broken up by Evan Becerra. Charlie Nemo has some words of wisdom for Cameron Dunn. Priestley keeps it in. Here's Borja. Borja will make an overlapping run, but he won't see the balls. It's sent wide to the far post. Drops in the box, and Duckworth is there. Again, with a little help from his friends. Defenders shielding the attacking player there, as De Leon found the going a bit rough.
As we say, De Leon has not really gotten involved here. Wilminton trying to get an important 3 points. They're just 3 points behind Orlando City and 6 points ahead of Richmond Kickers. And what about Richmond? What a fantastic run they're having in the Open Cup. They'll be playing in Chicago later this month.
Richmond, they're trying to get to the league championship match for the 5th time in 6 years, but they're trying to get back to the championship match of the U.S. Open Cup, which they won in 1995. Of course, the Rhinos of Rochester, the last and only USL team in the professional era to win the U.S. Open Cup. But that's just a great accomplishment by Richmond to go on the road and win at Sporting Kansas City despite all the adversity, all the travel, all the rain delays, the lightning delays. I mean, they just, Lee Cowlishaw's bunch just were not to be deterred.
No, absolutely. Credit to Lee Cowlishaw, Shelley Powers, the GM, of course, Rob Ukrop, the owner, another guy that's done tremendous amounts for soccer in the Richmond area. And, just showing how USL Pro can compete with the best, compete with the MLS teams and do very well in the Open Cups. And, of course, as we said already, the international games that they've had. And, the big result with Orlando City defeating Newcastle. I'm sure that was a shock to a lot of people, but maybe not to Orlando.
Maybe not. They're a very confident bunch there in Orlando, and they're going to be definitely a team to be reckoned with as we head towards the playoffs. Orlando, incidentally, can clinch the overall regular season title with a win at home tomorrow night against Charleston. So that's headed away from Peter Byers at the 18. Nicholson plays it to Mulholland. Back to Nicholson. Trying to get it to Banks. And a foul called. Got a real nice crowd here at Legion Stadium. May even be bigger than the one we had the last time we were here. That one was over 5,000. And they love the Hammerheads here. And we'll talk to Bill Rudisill at halftime. He and David Irving have put together an entertaining, attacking squad and a real fun family atmosphere here at Legion Stadium as that one's headed towards the near post, but out.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons you're getting these fans out there. They come out and they're quite sure they're going to see goals, and they see a fairly open game, and credit David Irving with that. I mean, I'd rather see these teams that go out and, try to go for the game. They win games 4-2, and I like that a lot more. It's going to keep the fans coming out. And one other thing about the teams, both these teams know how to score goals. They never feel like they're out of a game either, and neither do the fans. They stay till the end.
Borja gets away from Budney on that one. The Blues will again run it through Tudela, and again here on the near side touchdown to Borja. Keith Priestley being forced back in the wrong direction. Luis Garcia plays it over to Cameron Dunn on the far side. Cisse up to Byers. Here's Tudela looking for options, finding Priestley. De Leon draws a crowd. Stays with it. The Blues still have something going here. Borja whoops one inside. Byers goes down. Play on. Finally cleared away over to the far side. It'll be a throw in for the Blues. And we've got a Hammerhead player down in the box.
It's like Guzman down, isn't it? I think him and Byers colliding. I don't think a foul either way. Byers coming up complaining, but they're both going for the ball. And we'll have another look and see just exactly what happened as this cross came. An excellent cross by Borja, first time. They really just come down on each other.
Yeah, but Byers went straight down, and Guzman, that isn't Guzman, that's Becerra.
Oh, Becerra, right there. Yep, sorry.
We've gotten 5 and 6 confused a couple of times tonight. Here we are in the 40th minute as the athletic training staff comes out to take a look, and we will tell you about, we told you about how many of these players on both teams played in the PDL, and the Hammerheads have this good partnership with the Ventura County Fusion. 5 current Hammerheads played for the Fusion, and 30 players on these two teams got their start in the PDL. And yeah, sometimes it's rough and tumble there as here. But it's that pyramid that really helps these players develop their games and move up to the professional level, potentially the international level. And these fans who've gathered here at Legion Stadium in Wilmington are glad to see it.
Well, you know, you just have to go to the MLS Super Draft to see how PDL is having a positive effect on the game and development in the States at the pro level. 69% of those in the Super Draft had played PDL, including 8 of the first 10.
It's a shot that does not get through. Gareth Evans made 2 nice blocks in a row, and now it's Mulholland dropping that one long. It'll be Luis Garcia who gets there first and plays it back to his keeper, Amir Abidzadeh. This is an eclectic mix we told you about. Charlie Nemo's squad, 2 Iranians, 4 Americans, a Mexican, an Antiguan, a Cuban.
It's like Noah's Ark here.
From Sierra Leone. It's definitely the United Nations of Los Angeles. And it's done well for them. They are right now in 3rd place, but just 2 points behind Harrisburg. Harrisburg plays tonight against New York, and they can eliminate FC New York if they win. So if FC New York doesn't win, they will be eliminated, and Pittsburgh will claim the final National Division playoff berth. The playoffs will start in 2 weeks' time.
And certainly if that happens, a big congratulations to Justin Evans, coach of Pittsburgh, after a slow start. What a great second part of the season they've had. Very hot team. Certainly be a force to reckon with if they do indeed get into the playoffs.
Here's Jonathan De Leon down and in some distress.
I'll tell you, De Leon has been in distress this whole game, this time from an injury, though, because he has not done much on the ball, and he is a talented player. Played a number of years for Tigres in Mexico, and you know, gets collided there on his ankle, and we'll see what happens. But he has not been an effect of this game, and he is a talented player. You would have expected more with the partnership with him and Byers, but so far they've been 2 isolated strikers, certainly not playing together.
Well, Charlie Nemo does have some options. We could see Artur Agassian, who's Armenian, to go back to the United Nations team, on loan from Real Salt Lake.
And we'll see this again, and this comes from De Leon not getting a good touch on the ball, and the tackle there, a fair tackle, gets the ball out first. De Leon goes over the foot. Looks like it'll be all right.
He will have to leave the field here briefly. No reaction from Charlie Nemo. Not needed yet. We're in the 44th minute. This team down a goal, but still with time and the weapons to get it done.
I said both teams have good players on the bench. For the most part, they're healthy, both teams. I mean, everyone carries some injuries, but when you're going into the playoffs, it's often the teams that the healthiest that can make it through. You need depth throughout the season, and the playoffs, you need your top players to be ready.
A big loss, actually two big losses for Wilmington, one that you've known about, because last time we were here, Alex Grendy did his ACL in training here at Legion Stadium, but they lost Jyler Noviello in a game in Antigua, also with an ACL injury, and he was the kind of guy who could do anything. He could plug him into almost any position, brought a lot of energy, so they're going to miss him desperately.
He was a key player for them because he did raise the level of play off the bench, and he's certainly a good enough player to be a starter as well, but I was very impressed with him coming off the bench, and as you said, versatile, and those are players that are difficult to miss. They have played most of the season without Grendy. Grendy, a University of Penn grad, outstanding college career, and really made his name in the MLS Combine. His senior year had an outstanding combine, opened eyes to a lot of people, and was in the MLS for a little bit.
Blues deep in their own territory, down a goal. A long way to go and a short time to get there now as we're approaching 45 minutes played here in the first half at Legion Stadium. Again, they'll look Borja here. Again, launched for Byers. Flag stays down. And Riley is there. Dylan Riley's done a nice job tonight at the back.
Yeah, he's working hard, and of course, playing with three in the back, he's got a bit more ground to cover than normal, and you see Borja going up a lot, which is causing problems for them. The overlap of Borja gets the extra player into that space, and it's certainly what LA needs to keep doing to take advantage of going against three in the back.
Could LA's tying goal come here? In first half stoppage time, off the corner kick by Josh Tudela. Sent a little too far. Borja, though, will serve it back in and out of play. So that crisis is averted. Luke Mulholland and company with a 1-0 lead here as we're in first half stoppage time. Didn't see an indication of how much.
We had a couple injuries in the goal, no substitutes. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a couple minutes.
Brock Duckworth may burn by himself unless he puts foot to ball here shortly, which he finally does. Strong header there by Destin. Continue on in first half stoppage time. 3 minutes now, we're told. Becerra now here to Evans. And the Hammerheads would be content to just while away the minutes here. Take that 1-0 lead into the interval and go from there.
Yeah, they definitely want to be a little careful in the back here, opening up too much. There are a lot of players going forward, and you're right, in the last minute, want to be careful taking chances. They've got the lead.
There's Borja. Flicks that one over the head of Tom Parrott. Gets it back.
Those guys, I think that's the halftime show between Borja and Priestley. Starting a little early.
For your halftime entertainment. So coming up at halftime here on our halftime show, we'll have highlights, stats from the first half. Conversation with Wilmington majority owner Bill Rudisil. Very pleased not only with the results on the field, but the legion of fans, as it were, that turned out each and every night here, nearly without fail. David Irving has his side in contention, and they're going to be very tough, especially if they're able to play a game or two at home here in the playoffs. Tough to beat, as you mentioned, with 8 home victories, most in the league. Mulholland chests that one down. Banks was there, but so too was Erlise Garcia. Now, in the dying moments of the first half, Byers will play it back. Is this the last gasp of the first half of the LA Blues? Again, Priestley with a little trickery, and he goes down. He does not draw the foul that he probably wished he would have. Cleared here into touch on the near side. Surely only seconds remain now in the first half.
Well, we've certainly hit the 3-minute mark already on this.
And there's the whistle from Matthew Jositis.